Hey guys, it's FishingThePNW. Not too long ago I reached the 1 million view mark on YouTube, and I've been trying to put together this video for a very long time, and I'm finally getting around to it. And to show my appreciation for you guys, the viewers, I'm going to be doing a pretty big giveaway. Not all these lures are new, some may be slightly used, some will be new, but I'm going to be giving away an assortment of jigs, plastics, and hard baits. So let's go ahead and start with the hard baits. Start off with a couple of deep diving crankbaits. This is the Strike King 6XD. I believe the color is chartreuse blueback, or powdered chartreuse blueback, something like that. I don't think I've ever fished this. I'm not sure why I bought this. This color isn't really a good color for the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, it's got like an orange reddish throat, chartreuse on the sides, and it's blue on top. Again, this is 6XD, so that's one. Next is a Norman DD22 and Fire Tiger. This is also brand new. It's out of package, but I haven't fished it. And yeah, I could probably get away with this in some areas and certain water clarities, but it's just not a color that I'm confident in. This has a ton of flash, a ton of glitter, and it's your typical Fire Tiger pattern. So again, Norman DD22. Next up is this is a Triggerfish, and I don't know if you guys have seen the videos on it. I just haven't put in enough time with this lure to really get it to swim the way that I want, but basically it's steerable. If you use it right, you can make it go left, pause it, you can make it go right, and you can steer this lure. And if you look at the video on YouTube, there's some pretty explosive topwater blowups on this bait. This is in a rainbow trout color, and I hope you guys will put more time in with this bait than I have. Okay, next up we have a few rapalas, however you want to call them. This is an X-Wrap Deep. I don't remember exactly what model it is or how deep it dives, but it's got a good slender profile, and X-Wraps have pretty erratic action. And this is kind of like a shad color. It's black on top, silver on the sides with a red throat. Next up is another X-Wrap Deep. I believe this color is called Olive. It's kind of like a dark green on top that fades to like a lighter green. It's got like a silver side and a red throat. So that's another X-Wrap Deep. This is an X-Wrap Shad. I don't remember what this color is. It's kind of like a mustard color. Yellowish gold on the sides, brown top, orange belly. And then another topwater lure. This is an X-Wrap Prop. I believe this is the size 11. Another shad type of color. Black on top, silver sides, red throat. It's a pretty cool bait. I have a couple of these, so I'm giving one of these away. I haven't put in much time with it, but again, if you guys like prop baits or topwater baits, this is a great bait. And next up, I don't remember the brand of these. I bought a bunch of these in bulk a while ago. I haven't fished them much. I've caught some decent smalls on these, but these are a generic red craw imitation deep dive, or not really deep. I believe these dive 8 to 12 feet or so. If you look at it, they've got like the same basic profile. It's kind of like a Norman DD series. And these have two big BBs, so it's kind of like a deeper rattle, not so much of a high-pitched rattle. Alright, that does it for the hard baits. Let's get into the other stuff. Alright, so start off with some jigs here. If you guys have watched my videos, you guys know that I love these 1/4 ounce Arctic jigs. I fish these a lot in cold water, so you know, when you're transitioning into spring from winter, the 1/4 ounce has a really nice slow fall. And these Arctic jigs may be cheap, but they're pretty high quality. It's a stout, beefy hook. You can flip this on straight braid and you're not going to straighten it out. So that's a 1/4 ounce black and blue jig. Let's see here. Next up is a Skinny Bear Elite football jig. This is also black and blue, and this is a 1/2 ounce. This is a living rubber jig, and if you haven't fished living rubber before, especially the fine, thin living rubber, it looks super lifelike, and it has way more action in the waters than any silicone skirt could ever have. So that's the Skinny Bear football jig in 1/2 ounce. Here I have a Bass Patrol 1/2 ounce football jig. This is just black. This is also living rubber, but these strands are a little bit thicker. than the Skinny Bear football jig. We have another Bass Patrol football jig. This is also a ½ ounce, but this one is black and blue, and this is a silicone skirt. And then we have a few Strike King Bitsy jigs. These are both 1/4 ounce. One is the Bitsy Bug, which has a lighter wire hook, and one is the Bitsy Flip, which has a heavier gauge hook. So I'd recommend throwing this on finesse gear, maybe even a spinning rod, a really light line, mono or fluorocarbon. Do not throw this on braid, you'll straighten out the hook. But the Bitsy Flip has a pretty beefy hook on it. And these aren't black and blue, but I have 3 packs of Bitsy Bug crawfish jig trailers. So don't want to open the packages, but if you look it up, these are pretty small and good looking little craws. This is green pumpkin, this is watermelon red, and another green pumpkin. So the thing about these is they make pretty good jig trailers, but they also make awesome drop shot baits. So very versatile. And I believe I used a couple of these, but these are netbait bee bugs. They're basically sweet beaver profile, and these are in black and blue fake. And netbait baits are pretty nice. I like their plastics. They're pretty durable. They don't fall apart quite as easily, so you'll catch more fish per bait. And these have pretty good action in the water, so you know, flip it, use it as a jig trailer, whatever you want. Next up, I might have used one of these, I'm not quite sure. This is the netbait packer craw, and this is in black shadow, which is like black and blue on top, and the bottom has a bunch of silver flake. And to go with those Bitsy jigs, a new unused pack of tiny pack chunks. These are pretty good trailers, and if you guys haven't thought about doing it before, sometimes if you just nose hook these in addition to your main trailer, you add a little bit of bulk to your jig, and you can get more bites that way. And next up, I have a 24 pack of watermelon candy Senkos. I bought this from some guy off eBay. I believe I bought 50 and I used 26 of them, so here's 24 for you guys. Oh, whoops, I missed one. You actually get 2 Arky jigs. And then I bought these and I was excited to throw them, but I never fished them. And it's the new, or not new, sorry. It's the Man's 10-inch floating snake. I don't know. I bought them and I just never used them, so I'm giving them to you guys. And then I threw these a few times. I just never built any confidence in them, but these are 2 FishingThePNW. Basically like a topwater frog, except it's a bird profile. This is the red-winged blackbird. I don't remember what this color is. It's pretty much kind of like a gray finch. Alright, so we've gone over the baits. Now let's go over the rules. Rule number 1, you have to be a subscriber to my channel. Rule number 2, you have to like this video, and you will get an entry for each of those. So automatically right off the bat, you get 2 entries. And from here on out, you can earn multiple entries, and it's up to you how much effort you want to put in. So if you share this video on Facebook and tag my page, which is FishingThePNW, you will gain an additional entry. And you have to make sure to tag me, because if you don't, I won't see it. I won't know that you shared the video, and I won't be able to give you credit for it. And you can share this as many times as you want, not on just your profile, but if you share it on different types of fishing pages, I will count each one of those. It's going to require a bunch of work on my part, but I'm willing to go through it for you guys. So make sure you tag me when you share this video, and I will record all of it down. And this is where I'm going to kind of put a twist on this giveaway. I like to make my giveaways unique, and basically when this giveaway is done, I'm going to rename this title, or rename the title of this video to How to Catch Bass, or something along those lines, tips on how to catch bass. And this is where you guys are going to help. So if you guys tell me where you're from, I'm mostly looking for what state you live in. If you want to, you can include your city or the area that you live in. You will gain an entry for that, and then you'll gain an additional entry per technique that you share. What I want to know is your favorite techniques for catching bass, and this can apply to certain seasons, year-round, or whatever. So I want to know what's the most effective ways that you guys catch bass in your neck of the woods where you guys live, you know, across the country. And you guys can't just start listing off a bunch of stuff like crankbait, jig, spinnerbait. You know, I'm not going to count all those. So you guys are actually going to have to go into a little bit of detail. For example, let's say that it's summertime and you guys like throwing a frog in heavy cover, or you guys like working it on long weed lines. You know, where do you find the fish? Where do you target them? You know, go over the types of tackle that you use, the lures that you use. So another example would be, you know, burning a lipless crankbait over grass in the fall, or, you know, drop shotting deep water smallmouth in the winter or summer. So actually go into some details and give tips and tricks about how you guys like to catch bass, you know, where you guys live. And basically when this contest is done, people will be able to look through the comments, and they'll, especially for beginners, they'll get tons of ideas from this, and hopefully it will help them to catch more bass. So again, I'm going to go through all this, and then I'm going to record all your entries and put them into a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. And from there, I'm basically going to use a little formula to randomly draw a winner. So the more effort you guys put in, the more entries you have, and the higher chance you have of winning. Alright, good luck.